the city never really slept. It was alive with neon lights, the honking of cars, and the ceaseless footsteps of people chasing dreams or drowning in them. But Elena never heard the city the way others did. For her, every glittering light was a reminder of what she had lost, and every laugh in the streets was an insult to the silent cries she once held inside her chest. She stood before her small mirror, staring at the reflection of a woman she barely recognized. A sleek black gown hugged her figure, her makeup sharpened her soft features into a mask of power, and her dark eyes burned with an intensity no cosmetics could create. 5 years ago she had been different. 5 years ago she was the beloved daughter of an honest businessman, a girl who believed the world was fair. But one man had stolen it all. Armin Shah, her father's most trusted partner, the man who had laughed with them at dinners, patted her head like a second father, and made promises of loyalty. Until the night he betrayed them, framing her father for fraud, stealing the company, and leaving their family name in ashes. The humiliation had killed her parents slowly. Her father died of a stroke within months, her mother's spirit faded into illness, and Elena was left alone, broke, grieving, and consumed by a fire that never died. That fire had only one name: revenge. Tonight was the beginning. Armin Shah was hosting a gala at the Shah Empire Tower, celebrating his son's return from London. All of the city's elite would be there. Elena had clawed her way into an invitation under the false name Elena Ryers, pretending to be the daughter of a small industrialist abroad. Her years of hard work, disguise, and planning had led her here. As she entered the golden ballroom, the music of a live orchestra wrapped around her. Crystals glittered above her head, and businessmen whispered deals over champagne. She walked past them like a queen walking through pawns, her chin high, her heart steady. And then she saw him. Armin Shah. He looked older, grey at the temples, but still sharp in his black tuxedo, laughter booming as if he had never known guilt. He was surrounded by politicians and magnates, men who bowed to his wealth. Elena's nails dug into her palm. One day, Armin Shah, she vowed silently, everything you stole will burn in your hands, and I will be the fire. Before she could sink too deep into the rage, the announcer's voice boomed across the hall. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the future of the Shah Empire, just returned from abroad, Iron Shah. The crowd clapped and cheered as a tall figure stepped into the light. Iron was striking, not just because of his tailored navy suit or his strong jawline, but because of his presence. Unlike his father's arrogance, Iron carried himself with calm confidence, like a man who didn't need to shout to be heard. His eyes were a deep brown, thoughtful, almost too kind for the world he was born into. Elena's chest tightened. She reminded herself, he is your enemy too. The blood of Armin Shah runs in his veins. But then his gaze found hers. Across the sea of faces, his eyes lingered on her for a heartbeat too long. Something flickered there, curiosity, interest. And Elena, despite all her careful preparation, felt a shiver run through her spine. Later, as the orchestra began a waltz, Iron stepped onto the floor. Women whispered and giggled, hopping for his attention. But he walked past them all and stopped before her. "Would you do me the honor of this dance?" he asked, extending his hand. Elena froze. She hadn't planned for this. But her mind, always sharp, whispered the truth. This is your chance, to get closer, to slip inside their world. She placed her hand in his. Of course. The music carried them across the floor. His hand was firm yet gentle on her waist, his gaze steady but not overbearing. "You don't look like the type who enjoys grand parties," he said. She arched an eyebrow. "And what type do I look like?" "The type who has secrets." His words pierced deeper than they should have. She masked it with a smile. "That's dangerous to assume about a stranger." "Sometimes," he said softly, "strangers are the ones who reveal the most truth." Her breath caught. For a moment she almost forgot who he was. Almost. But she forced herself to remember the ashes of her family home, her father's silent tears, her mother's broken voice. She would use this man if she had to. Use him to destroy everything his father loved. But even as she vowed it, his eyes, kind yet searching, left an unspoken question inside her heart. The dance ended. She tried to walk away, but Iron stopped her gently. "And will I see you again, miss?" She hesitated. "Elena," she lied smoothly. "Just Elena." His lips curved into a half-smile. "Then I hope Elena doesn't remain a stranger for long." Her heart stuttered, but she didn't let it show. She turned away, her mask firmly back in place. Across the hall, Arman Shah raised a glass in toast, pride shining in his eyes as he looked at his son. And Elena whispered to herself, "I will destroy you, even if it means destroying him too." What she didn't know was that this dance had already shifted the ground beneath her feet. That the fire of revenge she carried would soon be tangled with another fire, one she had never expected. The fire of love. Elena couldn't sleep that night. She sat by her apartment window, staring at the glittering city. The warmth of Ayan's hand on her waist during the dance haunted her like a forbidden memory. She clenched her fists. "No, don't be weak. He is Arman Shah's son. He is the key to your revenge." For weeks, she kept showing up at events where she knew the Shah family would be. Charity dinners, exhibitions, even business conferences, she always appeared, always as Elena Ryers. And every time Ayan sought her out. At first she thought it was coincidence. Then she realized he was drawn to her. His eyes lit up when he saw her, his conversations with others cut short just so he could walk toward her. And slowly, despite her steel resolve, Elena found herself drawn to him too. One evening they found themselves alone on the terrace of a charity ball. The city stretched before them, stars hidden by neon. "You're different from everyone here," Ayan said, leaning against the railing. "Most people in this circle, they're obsessed with money, status, appearances. But you look at the world differently." Elena forced a laugh. "And what makes you so sure of that?" "Because your eyes," he said simply, "they're filled with stories, not luxury, not greed, stories." She froze. Nobody had ever looked at her like that, as if she was more than a mask, more than the role she played. For the first time in years, she felt seen. But deep inside, guilt burned. He didn't know who she truly was. He didn't know she carried hatred for his bloodline. "He's just your means to an end," she reminded herself. "Don't forget your parents' grave." Weeks turned into months. Elena started working on her plan, using her sharp mind and hidden contacts to trace Arman Shah's corruption. She uncovered fake accounts, bribery trails, and documents that could ruin him. Her revenge was close. But Ayan was ruining her heart. One night, after a business conference, Ayan offered to drive her home. The city lights blurred past as silence stretched between them. Then suddenly he pulled the car to the side and looked at her. "I don't know who you really are, Elena," he said quietly, "but I know one thing. Since you walked into my life, nothing feels the same. You make me want to be better, to build something that's not just wealth, not just power, but meaningful." Elena's chest ached. This was the moment. She could push him away, cut ties, and keep her revenge pure. But instead, she whispered, "And what if who I really am isn't who you think?" He smiled softly. "Then I'll still choose you." Her throat tightened. She turned her face away, tears burning her eyes. He didn't know the truth. He didn't know that every word of love he spoke only deepened the knife in her chest. The day of her revenge finally arrived. She had collected enough evidence to bring Arman Shah down, proof of embezzlement, illegal deals, betrayal of partners. With one move she could destroy him. But destiny played its cruelest card. That evening, Ayan invited her to his family's private dinner. Hesitant but determined, she went. At the table, Arman Shah raised his glass. "To my son," he said proudly, "the future of everything I built." Elena's stomach twisted. The man who had killed her parents sat across from her, smiling as though he was innocent. Rage burned in her chest. Then Ayan, sitting beside her, suddenly took her hand under the table. She looked at him, startled. His eyes were warm, his smile unguarded. And in that moment, she realized the unbearable truth. She couldn't do it. She couldn't destroy him. Not because Arman Shah didn't deserve it, he did, more than anyone. But because the fire of her revenge had been replaced by something stronger, something she had sworn she'd never feel again. Love. Love for the son of her enemy. Her hands trembled. She excused herself from the table and fled to the garden, tears spilling down her cheeks. Ayan followed her. "Elena, what's wrong?" She turned, broken. "You don't even know me, you don't know the truth. I came into your life with lies, with hatred. I wanted to ruin you, Ayan. I wanted to destroy your father." He froze, shock written across his face. "What are you saying?" She fell to her knees, sobbing. "My name is not Elena, it's Elena. 5 years ago your father destroyed my family. He stole everything from us, framed my father, and killed my parents with his betrayal. I swore I'd make him pay, and I used you to get close." Silence, the night air felt heavy, suffocating. Iron's face pale,